Hello there guys, welcome to this video. So in this video I'm going to show you how we can actually build your own resume without having any software like Microsoft Word involved. Just some code in Golang, some HTML files and a JSON file to handle all of your data. So let's get into it. Here I'm in my desktop screen. I want to create a folder that I want to name Resume Builder. I want to open it in my code editor. I'm using Visual Studio Code. And here, let's start by creating our data. So I'm going to create a data.json file. And here we're going to have a bunch of information. We're going to have like a name. So I'm going to type in my name. We're going to have a job. So here my job. Web developer, for example. Skills. Up. So skills here is going to be an array of strings, like Golang, Node.js. We can have also experience. So here I'm going to make an array but of objects because I'm going to put them like row, then the company, the date. So yeah, we can have, actually you can build this as you want. I'm just typing in my information. Actually I'm going to paste in a JSON file that I have prepared for this, so I don't have to type it all, but basically you can just build your JSON file as you want. So here, see, I have pasted a JSON file that I've prepared for this video. So here I have my experience, I have my projects, my education, my languages. Okay, so looking good. Now I want to create a main.go file. So you know the deal, package main, func main, and I want a very simple check function to help me handle my errors. So if receiving error is different than nil, just print it and call the OS package to exit with the code 1, meaning that is an error. So what's happening here? Needs to reload. Okay, cool. Now what I want to do is I want to put all of my JSON data is going to go into a single HTML file. So we are going to define the output of our program, meaning when we run our program, what do we want to be generated? So we want to generate an index.html file. So I'm going to create a variable out, meaning output. And I'm going to call the OS package to create an index.html file. Okay, I want to check for the error. And I also want to defer the out.close so I don't forget to close my file. Okay, now I want to create a variable data that is going to be of type. I just want to create a map. Actually, here I'm creating a map with the key string and the value. So map is like dictionaries in other language. So we have a key and we have a value. So actually we need to say the type of the key and the type of the value. So here in our JSON file, we can see that the name property is going to be the key. So this is of type string. And for example, the value is my name and is of type string, but we cannot map it to string here because we cannot do this. Because, for example, in skills we have an array of strings, so it's not going to be a string. and here also we have an array of objects, so it's not the same thing. So for that there is a very simple trick. It's not a trick, it's how we do things in Golang. So we can define the type of the value to an empty interface. So the empty interface is going to let us put any kind of type into the value. So it's going to receive, if it reads an array of strings, it's going to type it to an array of strings. If it reads an array of objects, it's going to type it to an array of objects. If it reads a string, it's going to type it to a string. So that's it. And now we want to actually read our file. So for that we need to call the package io-util, the function read file, and data.json. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in a variable. So variable file, an error. I think it receives an error. Yeah, so bytes and an error. Okay, cool. So I want to check the error, and I have my file. Okay, cool. And now I want to unmarshal, so parse the data of our. I want to parse the data of our file here into this map. So for that, I'm going to call the package JSON unmarshal. Unmarshal the JSON from our file to this map. And this receives an error, I think. Yeah, okay. So this can have an error. Check it. Okay. So now next, what we want to do is we want to create a template folder. Why do we want to create a template folder? Well, this template folder is going to contain. I'm sorry, I miss an E here. Okay, cool. So this is going to contain a bunch of HTML files. So let's say this is our basic HTML file, and here we want to import about.html, for example, containing all our informations about us. We want to import like skills.html. We want to import experience.html. We want to group this into this base HTML, and then we're going to parse all of this. We're going to parse all of our files inside of our template folder into a single index.html file. That's something we can do with the OS, not the OS package, but the HTML package of Golang. So here, if I call the template package, So the template package not from text/template, but from html.template. So here you see we have imported HTML template, and we want to call a function named parse globe. So here we want to pass in our template folder, and we're going to say parse globe. So parse globe meaning parse all of the files inside of our template folder to a single index.html file. So here I'm going to check for error. And now that we have parsed this, we can call a function execute. Exactly. So execute is going to take some data. So it's going to take, actually, I think it's, yeah, okay, the writer and the data. So yeah, so the writer is our out variable, because our out variable is our index.html file. And remember, the output of our program is the index.html file. So here we want to execute all of this parsing to our index.html file. And that index.html file is going to contain all of our data here. So it's going to take all of these templates. These templates are going to have some functions, some functions to display our data. I'm going to show you next. And that functions are going to be applying logic to the data that we have here. That's why we are passing in the data. It may sound confusing, but I'm going to show you. So here I have like my base HTML file. So what I want to do is I want to import. I can start by importing like the title maybe. And here there is a bunch of functions that the HTML template package of Golang can show us. So this is how we show variables in our template. So here, because we passed in the data, we can actually call our keys. So here I can say dot name. I can also say dot job. And this is going to display the name in the job of our data. So yeah. So next, what do I want to do? I'm going to have some styles here, so I'm just gonna make a styles folder. And remember, the index.html file is going to be at the root of our program. So if you want to make a link here, if you want to link our CSS, we need to say styles.main.css and not like this, because we are at the same, we're going to be here at the same position as our folder styles. So yeah, I'm guessing you already know this. So yeah, now to import the about.html, for example, here we can do this and say template. Oh, actually I already have. Okay. So we can say template about.html, and the dot meaning go get all of our, like, this is just the context we are passing, because here we are receiving our data, and if we don't do this, we are not passing any data to the child HTML. Let's see this. So if I put a dot here, I'm passing the name, the job. I'm basically passing all of my data.json file to the about.html file. If I don't do this, then I'm not passing anything, I'm just linking it. So yeah, and I want to do the same for the rest of the files. Okay. Paste this. Okay. Format. Okay, so now I want to build mission.html. Though this is going to be very simple. It's going to be a p tag. It's just going to be a p tag with my mission. And I'm thinking I'm going to put some classes, if CSS classes, if I want to style it later. I'm not sure I'm going to style this, but if I want, I'm just putting in the CSS classes. So now my mission.html file is in my base.html file, and all of this is going to be parsed into a single file. So I'm just going to build all of this. It's going to be a bit long, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's see about that HTML file. So here I'm going to have like an about div, an h1 maybe. Yeah. Name. already prepared this. I think I'm just going to paste this because it's going to be very long. So let me just paste all of this. Okay, so I need an indication file, indication HTML file. Perfect. And here I'm using the range function, because remember, education here, education is receiving an array of strings. I actually have only one string, but if I have multiple diplomas, I want to paste it a bunch of strings. And so whenever you have a string, an array of some values, you want to use the range function so you can iterate between them. So here I'm just iterating through the education array and printing the value. So yeah, let's move on. So experience.html. So this is a big one. So here what I'm saying is, I don't know if you have seen it, but see here I have a started value, but I don't have a stopped value. But here I do. So what I'm saying in a template here is that if there is a stopped value, just print the stopped value. If not, just print present, meaning I'm still doing that job. So I'm just explaining what I did here. And I want to have another range here. That's it. So what am I missing? About, mission, experience, education. I'm missing projects. Projects.html. Okay, I'm just gonna paste this. Actually, I don't need this. So yeah, what else am I missing? I'm missing language.html. Just gonna paste this also. Okay, I think I'm pretty good here. About mission, experience, project, education, and language. So yeah, so here we are good. I just wanna make the styles now. So here in my styles, I actually imported a font from Google Fonts. You can use whatever font you want. I'm just using Lato for this one, so I'm just gonna import it. Okay, so here I have Lato. I just want to do some basic sound. There is text rendering, and don't worry about all of this because I'm pasting all of these files, but I'm going to link the GitHub repo with all of the code, so you can just grab it from there. Don't worry. Usability. This is if after this you save, if you save your index.html file in your browser as a PDF, the text rendering property is going to allow you to increase, sorry about my English, but just improve the text rendering whenever you shrink your page. So yeah, I'm just gonna paste in all of my CSS. So yeah, you can. I used display. I use grid CSS, but you can just check it out in my GitHub repo text. So yeah, I think I'm good here. And now let's see. Now I think we are good to go. Did I forget something? Okay, this may return an error. So I just want to check it like this. Okay, and now we can actually go ahead and run this. So I'm gonna open a terminal and hit go run main.go. So you can see here it's going to generate an index.html file. So go run main.go. Oh, I forgot experience.html, I think. Okay, oh yeah, it's gonna say experience. I forgot an S. Okay, let's do it again. Run this again. Okay, and now see, it generated an index.html file that contains all of our information. So now we have our resume built in HTML. So now I can open this in the browser. Come on. And see, I have my, did I forget something? I think I forgot. I definitely forgot something in my CSS file. Oh yeah, I know what I forgot. Actually, I think I have a main. Yeah, I have a main tag where I say I have a max width of 40 rem. So I forgot that. So this needs to be in the main tag. Okay, let's do this again. I'm going to get rid of my index.html file and I'm going to generate it again. Okay, so perfect. I have it again. Now I have my main tag. Okay, looking better. So now you see I have a resume in my browser, and now if you want to print it as a PDF file, you just need to do Command P to print. So just do this, and here instead of selecting your printer, you select Save as a PDF. And now if I hit Save, if I hit Save, normally I have my PDF in my desktop. And there you go. I have my resume made with Golang, HTML, and JSON in my desktop. So I hope you guys liked this video, and just feel free to subscribe or just to contact me if you have any questions. I'm sorry if some of this is confusing. English is not my main language, so I'm trying really hard to make good videos. So I hope you still enjoyed it and have a good day. Bye.